I'm out in a favorite place. Hoping to find some ruins, usually surrounded by pottery in these parts, based on some LiDAR snooping I've been doing. I think I'm coming up on the first bump right here. We'll see what's there, if anything. Might just be a bump. This bump, approaching it, I didn't see a lot around it. The stone around here looks like it could be remnant of something, and although I didn't see pottery to begin with, I'm starting to notice it now. There's a piece of painted black on white. There's also a piece of pottery, sort of a rim edge there. Yeah, so this is a little ruin. LiDAR has led me to it right away. Plain pottery, a bit of a bigger piece. Some gray. I'm enjoying this because the last few walks I've done down in my home area, I was essentially skunked. Oop. And as I leave it, there's a little piece of corrugated pottery right there too. You can see here, on the cinders, the remnants of the 1085 volcano north of Flagstaff. Coming up on the second waypoint I marked, and I just got a glimpse of it through the trees. It's more substantial. You can see the pile of rocks. A structure with probably had a wooden and plant material for roof. It wasn't a stone roof, but the walls collapsed over time. This one's pretty big. I bet we see more pottery here. And all these built pretty much after the volcano, so I think in the maybe late 1100s, 1200 thereabouts, and the people left sometime before 1400. The culture here is sort of a mixture of the ancestral Pueblans coming from the east and maybe the Sonaguas coming from the south and the west, something like that. But I think they more or less met here. So I think that's right, if I remember correctly. You can see a room here, probably dug out by a pot hunter. Another one over here, bigger one. These sort of raised bumps with holes in the middle are something you notice when you look on the LiDAR. Maybe I'll stick in a picture of what that looks like. And it looks like there's a third one further down here. Smaller room. It's corrugated right there. There's a nice piece of painted pottery. Hand painted. Usually ancestral Pueblans or Anasazi, they were previously called. Most of it was made up this way. There are deer around. Yep. And the pottery stands out on the cinders. Here too. See a little high point. Definitely a collapsed ruin straight ahead. It's a big rim. Probably a corrugated piece. I apologize in advance if anyone doesn't like my use of the term ruin. I understand archaeologists are moving away from that, but I'm a little bit too old to change my terminology, and I can't remember what they want you to use instead. Let's paint it. So is this one. Picked up a few pieces for a picture. Of course, you know, don't take these home if you come out and find them. Put them back approximately where you got them. I also just noticed this right here. We're near the ruin. It's there. But here's a little, almost circular arrangement of stones. Man-made. This one. Something to do for the people who lived around here. Looks like a big one. Yep, that's a big plain shirt. Everyday wear, storage, holding water, etc. Got a little bit of aligned rocks here off to one side. But what I noticed here in particular is this low spot. I talked about this in another one of my videos. But a lot of these ruins have these low spots near them. There's at least one source that makes me think archaeologists might think they could have been kivas, which is hard to believe that that was an underground room. But the next best idea is some sort of water reservoir. But you know, there isn't any stream leading to this. So I'll just take note that this is a significant enough ruin that it has one of these low spots. It's probably, I'm standing here on one edge, the ruin on the other side, it's probably 3 feet below me, the bottom of this depression. But plain, that's a nice piece of corrugated. Always appreciate that. More reddish corrugated. Lots of pottery around this ruin. About 500 feet between these ruins. I'm almost the second one. Been finding pottery in between them though. Maybe not too surprising. My GPS tells me that my next target points are up on that hill ahead. I can see some petroglyphs up there. That surprises me. Not many petroglyphs around here. Look at that. Not so bad. Pretty nice. The 4-section circle with the circles in between is unusual. I may have seen that elsewhere. It's bound to mean something. Snake. You know, the little one down there in the shadow. And a deer or a bighorn. Good petroglyphs for around here. And a little round one over there. This looks like another bigger one up ahead. Pottery. Nice black on white. Here's this fourth room. If that's a garage, it's a detached garage. This one right here. Back up to get it in. You can see the ruin from this side, and that edge is very, or that room on the edge is very clear. Somebody has laid out a pile of them here. Some nice specimens. Again, something that you're not supposed to do. You should leave them where you find them, or approximately scattered like you found them. This is called, oh, I forget what it's called, a museum thing. That people who aren't quite filled in, they do that sort of thing. This is a pretty cool rim with paint on it. Don't see that very often. Maybe the balloon of the day. I picked up two in these last couple hikes I've done. Will be a third. This one's pretty deteriorated, but I think that's the remains of a balloon. I'll pack it out. On my way to my next waypoint, I just noticed an area that's got a lot of pottery. And turn around and I noticed there's also a rock pile over here. Maybe associated. But you know, this kind of pottery implies there was some sort of habitation right around here. I hadn't marked this spot, but it's obviously a man-made circle. I don't know whether that's one room people lived in or if there's something more substantial. That's all I can see though. Look at that. That doesn't even look ancient. It looks too well built. I don't know who would be rebuilding them. But that is quite a circle. Top of a little knob here. Here's another little circle. On this little knob, be a good lookout spot. Now come down below this little cliff band, and I can see petroglyph over there. A little bit faint, but no mistaking a few lizard men. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of them, and a snake. Bit of a walk to the next one. Enjoying our little rest. First flat rock I've seen it sit on for a while. Came from over that way. Well, I'm coming up on the next one I marked, and there it is, right in front of the mountain. It's a little circular feature in the vicinity. Here's a little wall out here. Main part of the ruin. See a long one like we've been seeing. But this is something extra, this feature here. Looks like a little plaza. Plenty of pottery here, as expected. Seeing mainly plain pottery. Here's this extra feature out here. Pick up a few pieces down here. Looks like a nice painted rim piece of the painted black on white. It's a corrugated. You can see some of the rooms here. One even shows a little bit of wall detail, which is not common to see up here. Just walking to the next one, I look down and notice this nice piece of pottery. Again, another rim, black and white. I think I mentioned earlier I don't find many of those, but that's 4 or 5 of them today. That's pretty nice. A little smaller than the last one, but pottery. I imagine all these people were living around here at about the same time. They weren't too worried about attacking because these are not defensive. Maybe it was a pretty good life. Square perimeter for these couple rooms here. Back there's one we just left, and here's his neighbor right here. Maybe family unit. Little plaza area here. It seems sort of cleared and flat. Couple rooms. Little dog leg. Look at that. Little lightning bolt. Huh. Oh. Got a fly on me. That little thing sticking out says it was part of a more complex vessel. Well, my route I drew has me going down the hill here and then back up the other side. I guess there's a few things worth seeing in order to do that. Looks to be an enclosure or a lookout of some sort over there. Could just be a natural little amphitheater. Rocks are a little too big to be stacked by people. Well, there's another little area over here. Maybe some of these rocks were stacked, and this being a lookout or hunting blind. There's a very faint petroglyph right there. It'd be the best proof that it was used by ancient folks. There's some pottery here too. Yeah. Let's pick this one up. That's a nice piece. And I also took a close look at my GPS and realized what I had marked was actually just above this cliff. So I have to go up. Okay, this is on top of that cliff, man. Yeah, there's certainly a ruin here. Another room over there. Looks like one down here too. Here from the front side. And we first started by walking along that cliff band below. The way this one was built, this, I don't call them the dog leg room, is really built into the ground. Here's the next one. Yeah, looks to be a couple rooms, 2 or 3 rooms. Pretty much like the others. Yeah, 2 rooms viewed from here, and I believe 1 on the other side. 3. There's pottery, of course. It's painted. I believe there's a close by neighbor we're going to. There he is. Pretty high lump of debris. I'm seeing pottery way out here. I picked up a couple painted ones. Just on one side. Here's this ruin. You know, you wonder almost if it's 2 stories since the pile is so high. I really don't know how to assess that. And on this side, looks to be another room. And over here, a low spot, which I mentioned before. Oh, it's windy, isn't it? A kiva or a reservoir. Well, back down the hill, I think I got a couple more waypoints marked, but other than that, I'm heading back toward the car. Well, I found a lot of ruins today. Tomorrow I'm going to go look for petroglyphs in a different place. Looking forward to that.